Right, let's go. Hi guys, welcome to the lesson on how to play the solo from Champagne Supernova. A couple of quick notes on this. Notes, God, English. So basically I've picked out, it's actually 3 different guitars really, but it's what I feel is kind of like the main strands of the solo. So the first bit is easily the most clear bit in the solo. Then there's a second guitar that comes in the 4th bar, which sounds like it might even be a different guitarist, because I know Paul Weller plays on this song. It doesn't feel like Noel Gallagher solo, but anyway, that's not that important. But that's the second guitar, and then later on a 3rd guitar comes in as well. And what I do though is I stay with that second guitar for most of the rest of the solo. So there is Noel Gallagher, you can see him in the video as well, just doing lots of high bends. I'm not doing those, I'm doing the other bits, but I will show you the high bends at the time. So if you go and listen to me playing the solo, you can hear the bits that I've picked out of that solo, okay? At one point at the end, there are 3 guitars, so it's almost like, well, pick the bits you like, but that's what I'm gonna do. Just wanted to have that little note at the start, just so you know. So let's get cracking. So this first bit is, so the song's in the key of A. You know, if you got through the chord sequence, you'll probably be able to see that quite clearly. So we're going to start with some kind of A licks that you'd expect, almost bluesy licks. We're going to do some double stops. I'm going to play them. I always play these double stops like this with my 3rd and my 4th finger. Like, you don't have to, really don't have to. I know that I've got a bend there afterwards, so that's one of the reasons I do it. I just naturally like to do my bends like this, double stop. I rarely ever do double stops like that unless I really have to. I just find I can get my other fingers to help out, and then I can use that finger to guide. So that's what I'm going to do. It's 7th fret on the G, 7th fret on the B, and it's really, the idea is that's a tone bend and that's a semitone bend, but you're just getting the right vibe. And there's 3 of them, and we're going to go up and down. Okay, so it's one more my bridge pickup. I'm going to flick to middle pick. Okay, it's quite fast, but that's the first move. Then we're going to bend the 7th fret on the G string. We're going to go up a tone, but again we're going to go up and down. So it's again, if you've seen it in my other videos, you know I often bend those a little flat. That's personal preference. Please don't feel like you have to do it like that. So if you do hear me doing some of those bends a little flat, it's often because I quite like doing it that way. Trust me, I remember a teacher telling me off when I was at a music college studying music, and they made me do the bends full tones and stuff. And I could do them, and they're like, oh, you can do them. Anyway, that's a really boring story. But 5th fret on the G string is the next note. Then we resolve to the root 7th fret on the D string. Could be a blues lick, that. Lots of vibrato, you know, like a lot of his stuff, he throws in some good vibrato. So the next chord we're playing over is a G. So the feel changes slightly. So the first chord was an A, so the next chord is a G. So the change, we feel a little bit of a change. What we're going to do is we're going to work our way through the minor pentatonic scale for a few notes, okay? So we're going to play 5 on the D, 7 on the D, 5 on the G, then back to 7 on the D, okay? Alternate pick that, obviously. Then 5 on the G, then 7 on the G. So we've gone 5 on the D, 7, 5 on the G, 7 on the D, back to 5 on the G, and then we've got our 7 there. What we're going to do then is we're going to bend up the 7 to a tone. Then I'm going to play 5 on the E string with my 1st finger. Now, this isn't an A note, okay? That's what that note is there, so that is not an A note, okay? So it's not one of those situations. If I was here, we'd be trying to hit that E note, and that's an E note, so they'd sound the same, but that is not the case here. Then we re-pick and bend down. Then to finish it, we're going to play 5 on the G, 7 on the G, 5 on the G, and then we actually resolve to the root A. And there's our rhythm done a little bit slower there. Then F sharp minor. We're going to play 5 on the D, 7 on the D. Then I'm going to double stop 5 on the G and 5 on the B. Just going to hit those two together. Then back to 7 on the D. Then the double stop at the 5s again. Then back to the 7 on the D. 2 of those double stops. And then back to 7 on the D. You know, lots of 7 on the Ds and double stops there. That's roughly the rhythm. You can alternate pick that. I do actually. I was just, that's why I replayed it the second time, because I wanted to work out what I did, and I do. So that's lick 3. Lick 4 is going to be the final one of this first guitar, and it's going to be 3 7s on the D string. We're going to down, up, down that. You can go up, down, up if you prefer. That is absolutely fine. I'm just changing I'm just talking about my right hand picking there. So I would probably go down, up, down, but you can go up, down, up, it's fine. Then it's going to be on the A string now, 5 to 7 hammer on. Then we're going to play 5 on the D, 7 on the A again. So then we're going to play 6 on the A, 5 on the A, open A. Then we're going to move down, move my guitar slightly, 3 on the E, open E, and then 3 again. And that's the first guitars part, so I'll just play that through slowly. So lick 1. Lick 2. Lick 3. There you go, move my guitar a bit. The lighting is, the camera's struggling with the lighting, but sorry camera. Right, sip of coffee time. And we'll move on to guitar number 2. That is strong coffee. Right, and we're going to move on to guitar number 2. So I say, this is the bit that I feel, there's a couple of bits that do sound a bit like him, but actually I wouldn't be surprised if this guitar is played by Paul Weller. I wouldn't be surprised at all. So I'm going to do a little camera adjustment, so there's going to be a cut. Okay, so back after the cut to the second guitar. Now, I'm going to flick to my bridge pickup, but it doesn't get the tone quite right for this. It sounds twangier in some ways, so what I would guess is probably still an actual humbucking pickup, so my tone is going to be a bit off. But it sounds like he might even have something like a wah but slightly open, maybe something like that to get the tone. But I mean, obviously have a little bit of a play around with your setup. Yeah, for me, for these videos, I'm trying to give you the notes and some of the technique, not really giving you the tone a lot of the time, partially because I can't get the tone myself, so it'd seem a little bit ridiculous for me to try and tell you the right tone when I can't. But that's what I would guess is a humbucking guitar, but with a wah slightly open would probably get you near the tone that's going on here, but I could be wrong. We're going to start at 13 on the B string, and then 10 on the B. So it feels like we're playing in D minor. A lot of people would probably think that. We're going to move there, but it's position 3 minor pentatonic and position 4 minor pentatonic that we're dealing with here, okay, in the key of A. Yeah, so 13 on the B, 10 on the B, then back to 13. Lots of vibrato, almost a bend, almost a curl. In some of the tabs I've seen, they've written it as a curl. It doesn't feel like it, doesn't sound like a curl to me, but you know, they're just a little bit. That doesn't sound that far off, does it? So feel free to do it like that. I would just put heavy vibrato, but you could, if you prefer that sound. Then on the G string, 14, 12, 14. Again, heavy vibrato. I mean, that's just that bit, isn't it? So the next note is going to be a bend on 14 on the G string. This feels like a sharp bend, so I'm going to try and bend this a little sharp. It's written on my tab that I got from a copy of Guitar Magazine from 2000. as I keep everything guitar related. It's written as a two-tone bend. It feels like a tone and a bit. So like a two fret bend, which is a tone. It feels like a tone and a bit. So 2 fret bend plus maybe a quarter tone. You know, not hugely over. We're not talking a 5 fret bend or something ridiculous. It's just a little bit over, and it's going to be 14th on the G string, then back to 12 on the G, and then 2 14s. Again, heavy vibrato the whole way, like that. So that's lick 2 of this section. There's a lot of licks in this section because it's quite a long solo, so bear with me. So. Then we're going to play 14 on the G, a lot of vibrato, and then I'm actually going to pick it again. Then on the B string I'm going to play 12, and then on the, that's not right, is it? On the B string I'm going to play 13, on the G string I'm going to play 12. So we get a little double stop there, then I'm going to play 14 again. So that section is going to be, so 14 with vibrato, then we pick it again, double stop 12 and 13, back to 14. Then straight into the bend at 14 again, slightly over. Then 12 on the G, 14, 14. That's that little section there. Whatever lick that would be. Lick 7, I think, of the whole thing. And then lick 3 of this kind of second guitar. Now, it's hard to hear, but I think there might be 2 open notes hit then on the 4th beat of that bar, which is the F sharp, second time we're playing the F sharp minor. But I didn't play it in the solo cover because I played it a couple of times and it didn't sound very good, so I took it out. But just so you know, again, it might feel like you can hear something there, and it would be the E and the B strings open, just a crotchet, so 1 B open. I can't talk today. Okay, so that's just something I missed out, but you might want to put in yourself. Okay, on to the next bit. We're going to move the guitar a little bit. And now at the real dusty end of the guitar. So it's going to be 17 on the B string, up to 12 on the B. Then we're going to play 17 on the E. Okay. Then we're going to play 17 again on the E. Then I'm going to bend 12 on the E, and it's going to be a 2 fret bend, a tone bend, like that. So. Then we're going to play 17 on the B, on the E, sorry, 20 on the B, 17 on the E, 20 on the B, 17 on the E, then 20 on the B, which I'm then going to bend up, down, back up, then I'm going to re-pick and bend up again. And that's that next lick. Good lick, love that. That's it kind of more at speed, okay? So it's, I'll just talk through it again because it's quite a long one. So it's 17 to 20 on the B, 17 on the E. That's the first little bit. Then 17 again, bend 20 up, back down. Then 17 on the E, 20 on the B this time, 17 on the E, 20 on the B, 17 on the E, 20 on the B, bend it up, down and up again. And then re-pick it. So it's just, so you kill it after the second up. So you go up, down, up, kill it, bend it up again with another pick. Which sounds great. So, next lick after that, 17 on the E again, 20 on the E. Then we're going to pick that again and bend it up another tone. Then 17, 20, 17. And that would be the rhythm for that little section there. Okay, cool. So that's the really kind of high widdly bit, love that. Then we're going to move back to 15 on the E. And then we're going to hammer on 15 to 17, still on the E. Then we're actually going to slide from 15 to 12. Okay. Then 15 on the B, 12 on the E. Okay, so. And then we're going to play 15 on the B twice, but we're actually going to slow our picking. It's not going to be quite as fast. I'm going to do 2 down picks instead of down up. Then I'm going to slide from 15 to 12. Then I'm going to re-pick 12. Then I'm going to re-pick it again and do a bend up, only a semitone, so that note. then I'm going to move to 10 on the B. And that's how he transitions from that section. So this bit up here is position 1 minor pentatonic, and then all we do with that little move is we move to position 5, position 4, and we end up at position 3, okay? So that's just a really clever way that he transitions sections. It's a nice move. And that's how he does that little transition there. I'll zoom out a little bit. That's zooming in, Paul. There we go. So I can show you that better. If I hit the right notes, it really helps. Okay, so that's that lick. So what lick is that? That is lick number 2, 3, 4, 5. Little 6. That's lick 6 of this second section. So the 10th lick overall, but lick 6 of the second guitar. And then, okay, what I'll do actually is I'll play through that lick, because now we're going to come up to the lots of playing 8s and 10s. Lots of that coming up. So what I'll do is I'll just play through that little section, which is kind of like the highest bit of the song in terms of pitch. This is where you could have the open notes if you wanted them, or if you don't. Okay, and it's a big chunk of the solo there. That's a really cool section. Yeah, going from really, that's the high bit, the really widdly bit. So I'm going to take a sip of coffee and put another cut as I slightly adjust the camera again. I'm sure there's lots of much more professional YouTubers who don't tell people when they're going to put a cut in, but I always like to tell you guys when I'm going to put a cut in, just so you know, and I like to explain why as well. Nearly always it's because of a sip of coffee. Often there's another reason as well. Okay, so now we're coming up to the bits where all the other guitars are coming in now. So a lot of the time it's just some bends really, and so just you want to just think of bends in the key of A really. So a lot of, especially at the end, it's mostly up here. So think that it Don't Look Back in Anger, really, a lot of those kind of bends, which you could also play here. A lot of those kind of bends is what he's doing underneath what we're going to be doing in this solo. So if you have another guitar who can do that, or if you prefer to do that bit, that's basically what you're doing. Very simple, and actually a large chunk of it is just that bend that I just showed you, kind of 15 on the B with a 12 on the E underneath, just over and over again, as I say, very much like Don't Look Back in Anger, which is why I think it's him doing that bit, not this part of the solo. I digress slightly. Let's carry on. 8th fret on the B, we're going to slide back to 7, then we're going to pick 7, okay, then we're going to play 8 on the E, that's not the E, that's the B, 8 on the B, 8 on the E, then 10 on the B. So this is the first time we get that kind of move. So then we're going to play 12 on the B, then we're going to play 10 on the B, then I'm going to play 8 on the E twice, then back to 10 on the B. Okay, so you could stretch back to 7 for that B note, but I would prefer stretching up to 12 with my pinky. So then we're going to play 8, hammer onto 10 on the B. Lots of vibrato whenever we land, basically. Then 8, 10, 10 on the B. And again, 8, 10, 10. And another hammer, 8 to 10. Then another hammer, 8 to 10. And then repick 10. Then another hammer, 8 to 10. Then a bend up and down again. Okay, I went through that quite quickly. Hopefully it wasn't too quick. I'll go through it again slowly. So you've got these first 2 licks, 8 slide to 7, repick 7, 8 on the B, 8 on the E, 10. Then we stretch to 12, 10 on the B, 2 8s on the E, back to that, 10 on the B. Okay, so this is where it starts getting a little bit more samey. 8, hammer to 10. Then we're going to play 8, 10, 10 twice. Then we're going to do the hammer again. Then Then we're going to do the hammer, but then we're going to re-pick the 10. Then we're going to do the hammer, but then do a bend on 10. Okay? Then we're just going to play 8 and then 10. Then we're going to play 8, 10, 10. Then I'm going to play 8, 10, and then do a bend. And I'm going to try and bend to 13 there, so a slightly higher bend than before. Okay, and that's the 8-10 section, basically, as that's what I always think of it as. In terms of whether you hammer on or don't, you know, it's pretty hard to hear some of the time. So don't feel too hard done by, or if you do some of them hammers and some of them not, it will still hold together pretty well, basically. But effectively, let me just play that section through. So most of those 8 hammer on to 10s, when it's just 2 notes, is on the first beat of the bar. So that's the way I always, when I'm playing along with the solo, I find my way by just aiming for that on the first beat of the bar, and then the rest kind of fits in around that. It's my little tip there. Okay, so now the final bit. So this is really when this could, I'd always do them up there, but obviously you can do them here. Lots of that kind of going on underneath. So this first bit is going to be a run, which is position 4 A minor pentatonic, and we're just going to do a run in that position. So it's going to be 12 on the D to 14 on the D to 12 on the G to 14 on the G to 13 on the B. Okay, literally just up the scale. Then 15 on the, which is actually the next note in the scale, 15 on the B, then back to 13. Then we're going to play 15 again. Then we're going to bend 15 to a tone to 17. And then we're going to hit 13, bit of vibrato. So it's up the scale and then a bend, basically. Oh, I slightly overbent that. Okay, next lick, we're going to play 14 on the G, 12 on the B, then we're going to bend 15, up a tone, then 12 on the E, then 14 on the G. Okay, that's that next lick. That's over the F. And then we're going to play over the G chord, 12 on the E, 15 on the B, back to 12 on the E, then on the B, 15, 13, 15, 13, 14 on the G, vibrato. That's an A note, so that's our root notes. That's what we'd expect. Oh, extra little cut there as my camera just decided it didn't want to record anymore. So let's go back to where we were. So what we've got now, so we've just hit 14 there after that high run. We now have to wait 2 whole beats. So what's going on in the chords is we're just playing F to G, F to G, F to G, okay? So it's... just that bit. Just at the end, okay? So what we're doing is we're waiting the whole of the F before we play anything else. Then on the and of 3 of the bar, we're going to slide into 13 on the B string. Doesn't matter where you slide from, really. I'm going to slide from 2 or 3 frets away. Then I'm going to play 13, 15, 13, and then 14 on the G with the root notes. Like that, okay? And that's the end of this kind of the second guitar. And now we're going to come back into the kind of the main guitar for the whole rest of the song comes back in with those classic licks. And yeah, so I'm going to adjust the camera again and then we'll do that bit. Okay, so now we're at the very not dusty end. Again, tonally it's going to change. So if you had anything like a treble boost on, or you had your wah on slightly open or whatever, you would turn it off now basically and come back in. I've actually moved to the middle pickup. You could move to the, I don't think it's quite the neck pickup on my Strat. Maybe. I quite like that one. Anyway, We're going to bend the 4th fret now. So now we're thinking A major pentatonic, position 1. So again, this feels more like Noel Gallagher, where this is a scale shape that he definitely likes to use, major pentatonic, okay? He's going to bend the 4th fret a tone. I always pull it down here. Then I'm going to hit 2 on the G string. And then what we're going to do is I'm going to play open D, then I'm going to hammer on the D string 2 to 4, then I'm going to play 2 on the G, then I'm going to do that same bend as I just did, then 2 on the G, 4 on the D, open A. Okay, so with those 2 licks together. Like that. Then we're going to do hammer on the D string, 2nd fret to 4th fret, then 2nd fret on the G, then that hammer on again, 2nd fret on the D to 4th fret on the D, then open A. Okay, so we end up with... Okay, so those are licks that you can use throughout the rest of the song when that A sus. So that's the chord sequence now, so we've got D. 2, 3, 4. Okay, another little cut as I move the camera again so we can do the interlude, as it's called in this magazine. Okay, interlude, as I said before, as it's called in my magazine. So this is this bit. Love that bit. So major pentatonic, position 3 is what I'd be thinking here. Again, classic bit. Noel Gallagher, you get major pentatonics preferenced over minor pentatonics 9 times out of 10. Bend on the 12th fret, B string. We're going to bend it up to this C sharp note, which is a tone bend. Then 10 on the B, 11 on the G, and then 10 on the B, and then 11 on the G. Yeah. That's quite easy. Let it all ring a bit. Why not? Then we're going to work our way up the scale. 9 on the D to 11 on the D. Same on the G string. 9, then 11, then 10 on the B. Then we're going to play 12 on the B, then back to 10. And that's the rhythm, so it's just... So that's 10 there is slightly longer than all the other notes, basically. And that's it. And then once we've done that, on a 3rd time, we're then going to slide 12 to 14, then 12 on the E. It sounds like a little bit later you can just about hear him sliding back 14 to 12. And then ending up on that A note there, which is the root note, 10th fret on the B string. So. I like to leave in all my mistakes, it's fun. So, yeah, there you go. That's the solo. It's a tough one for me because I didn't want to go too quickly, and I worry that I have because I usually go so slowly, but I also didn't want to take 45 minutes to teach it, and I genuinely probably could do. If I was teaching it one-on-one, I would expect to get through it maybe in an hour session, just because there's no need to go through it super quickly. Yeah, so the main things I'd say about this is try and break it down into the little sections that I have broken it down into. What I've done is I've tried to play all the little bits separately slowly. I won't play one long slow version at the end because it's such a long solo. I don't think there's a lot of value in it. Obviously, if you do want me to, just let me know and I can easily do that. And just put up another video of me just playing the solo, just 75% speed of the track or whatever. Yeah, 3 guitars. I think the middle one's Paul Weller. It feels very different to a lot of Noel Gallagher solos, so it's interesting. It's a bit different for us to learn. Really enjoy it. I genuinely have enjoyed learning this solo. It's a song that I definitely used to love and I haven't heard for a long time, so it's been quite fun for me to get back into it. So yeah, it's been quite enjoyable. If you've got this far in the video, well done, because you know, Lord knows how long this video is going to be. And I really appreciate you watching my videos. As usual, you know, please like the video. Please share it, please subscribe to the channel, please comment at the bottom, even if you just say cool or give me a thumbs up. You know, the comments genuinely help, which is why people always ask for them at the end of videos. You know, next video will be something I think I'm going to do later. I might even do it later on today. I might do Cannonball by Damien Rice, because someone's asked me for that, and that's a song I actually teach every few weeks. I probably end up teaching that to someone. So so it's a nice easy one for me to do. And then I might try and do I've got a couple more Oasis requests, and I might try and get those done, or I might flick to some. I've been asked for some Radiohead and some other things as well, so I might try some of those. So I haven't actually decided, but next one will be Cannonball. I'm just waffling as usual. Yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys soon. I hope you enjoy the solo. Goodbye.